What's up you guys, it's Abby and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I would love it if you would click the subscribe button down below and just stuck around for more videos to come in the future. I post every Monday and Friday and it's a pretty good time around here, and today's video is going to be something that I have not told you guys just because it's been very personal and it was a decision that was tough for me to make, and it was just a life-changing moment and it was an experience, and I didn't want to tell anyone about it until the decision was finalized and made, and now is the time. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys today that I almost transferred schools. And when I say almost, I don't mean like I thought about it in my head but I didn't really like follow through with it and I was just kind of thinking about it. No, like I applied, I went through the whole process, and at one point I was dead set on changing schools from the University of Alabama. So I'm just going to basically give you guys some background information first and then just explain the story to you guys so you guys will know. And if you guys have never watched my videos before, or if you just don't really feel like sticking around to watch this video, I highly encourage you to watch all the way through it, because I think it is just a valuable experience that I went through, and I think my experience is something that I need to share with you guys in order to help you all if you end up going through some kind of situation like this, or if you're in college now and you're going through it, or even if college is 5 years down the road for you, then you might go through this. And I think that my advice could be valuable just from my learning experience. Okay, so rewind time back to fall of 2016 when I was a senior in high school. I applied to 4 schools, and I did say this in one of my previous videos, and one of them was University of Florida, one of them was University of Alabama, one was New York University, and one was Flagler College. And I did get accepted into all of them, but my top 2 choices were the University of Florida and University of Alabama, but not in that order. I didn't really know where I wanted to go, and basically my decision I knew would be based off what school I genuinely loved the most and which one would be cheapest for me. Flagler and New York University were just not even an option for me just because they are so expensive, but I was definitely considering University of Florida and the University of Alabama the most, just because I did have all my tuition paid for at Alabama for the scholarship I got, and then at the University of Florida I had Bright Futures, which is just like an in-state program that gives you money towards tuition, but it does not cover all of your tuition if you have the full Bright Futures. So when it came down to making a decision, I ended up choosing Alabama, and I do plan on filming a video that is going to be why I chose Alabama soon, but I'm not going to get into that, but I did choose Alabama. Fast forward to my freshman year of college in fall 2017. I get to school, and as you guys have heard in my other videos, if you have been watching my videos for a while, I did struggle a lot, and adjusting to the change that college brought on was very, very hard. You have to learn how to live on your own. You have to learn how to just budget your money and how you're going to spend your time. You have to know how to just really be yourself and just embrace this change that you're going through, but it can be really hard when you're not around your family and you're not in your house and you're not in your hometown. Came back for the spring, and first few weeks into the spring were good and everything. My schedule was pretty hard. I hadn't really made any good friends at this point, but in the spring I did get a lot closer to my roommate for next year, and she was also one of my roommates last year in the fall and spring, and I got a lot closer to Macy, and that was a huge blessing in the spring. So I was a lot closer to her, and that was really good because I did have her to talk to and her to hang out with. But besides that, I had only met a couple people, and I hadn't really gotten super close to any of them. Right around the first week of March, I was just going through a lot emotionally. I didn't really know what was going on. I just felt like I didn't have any purpose at Alabama. I felt like I lacked motivation to do well academically and to go out and meet people and to try new things. I just felt very unmotivated and just down. I just felt like I had no idea where my life was going and where Alabama was taking me. And when I tried to see into the future, like 4 years down the road, it was really hard for me to imagine who I was going to be and what I was going to be doing with my life. Like I couldn't see myself like at all. Like it was just a blur. And then the thought kind of came into my head of transferring, and I had thought about it once in December, but it was just kind of like, oh, that's not possible because I would have to pay the tuition and I wouldn't have my Bright Futures anymore since I chose to go to Alabama. Well, I found out that wasn't the case, and that I had 2 years to reinstate my Bright Futures to attend any Florida school. So when I found this out, I thought that it was kind of just like a hint at, hey, maybe I should transfer and that this is actually a possibility and it's not impossible. So I prayed about it a lot, and basically things started lining up. I found that out about the Bright Futures, and I found out that my student loans would cover the rest of anything I needed. And everything seemed right, and I had thought about all of this right around the time the applications were being due for transfer applicants for the University of Florida. And the reasons I wanted to go to Florida were to academically better myself and socially better myself and emotionally better myself. And everything was lining up, and I sent my application in, and I visited the University of Florida at the beginning of my spring break, and I went and stayed with my best friend Logan, and we went to a baseball game, and I just wanted to walk around and see the town, and I enjoyed it a lot. I was basically just on this high because for a little while, when I thought that I would be going to Florida if I got in, I could just see this life for myself there, and I could see myself with my old friends that I went to high school with, and see myself just really wanting to do the best I possibly could and just enjoying time with them and meeting other people through them, and it just seemed like everything was falling into place. Fast forward to the first week of April, and the transfer applications were due on April 1st. I contacted the University of Florida and asked them how long it would take for the decisions to be made, and they told me around 4 to 6 weeks, I believe, and I was like, okay, I can wait that long, it's fine. In the middle of April, I got an email from the University of Florida, and they said they would not be sending out decisions until the middle of June, which was entirely too late for a number of reasons. One, because I would need to know where I needed to live if I was going to be going to Florida, or if I was going to be staying at Alabama, and I would have to find another roommate in both places. And I had to take statistics over the summer if I stayed at Alabama, so I had to get all of that figured out, and I just simply could not wait that long. At this time, I had been contemplating whether this decision was right or not, and everyone could kind of tell that I was kind of on the fence about it and I wasn't so sure anymore. And basically I was just having a lot of doubts about this decision that I had hopped onto so quick that I felt like God had led me to and had lined up. If you rewind a little bit back to the end of March, I met Katie Horan, who you guys have seen in my vlogs, and I'm sure a lot of you know her here on YouTube. And I had met her for the first time just because I had just started my YouTube channel and she has one as well, and we decided to go eat lunch together, and we sat there and talked for 3 hours, and we had never talked before in our lives. And it was just a great experience because we are really similar, and we have a lot of the same feelings about things, and we have a very similar personality and the same interests, and it was really great. And I knew that I couldn't tell her that I was considering transferring when I met her, because I couldn't just talk to this girl and become friends with her and then be like, oh, by the way, I might be transferring. So I didn't tell her that, and I just kept hanging out with her for a couple weeks. One night we went to Heritage House, which is my favorite coffee shop in Tuscaloosa, and we went after we went to a workout class. And I don't remember exactly when this was, but it was closer to towards the end of the year. At this point, I was like 99% sure I was staying at Alabama, so I felt comfortable telling her what was going on, and I didn't want to hide anything from her. So we were sitting at Heritage House, and we had planned to study for some like midterms or finals or something, and then planned to edit videos together. And basically I told her everything that happened. I told her that I had just felt so alone, and I was scared, and I just didn't see a future for myself at Alabama. And when I thought about where I wanted to be when I graduated, I felt like Florida would lead me to that destination. And I told her all of this, and I told her that since I had met her and a few other people through the Church of the Highlands and just in classes and everything, I really felt like I was needing to stay. And I told her that I've been praying since basically the fall, like, God, send me some good friends, send me some friends that have the same values as me, same interests as me, people that I can really connect with and just have a good time with. I don't care if I have 50 friends or if I have one, it does not matter, I just need somebody. So I was really desperate, and I was telling Katie this, and basically she just freaked out because she was considering studying abroad, and she didn't know if she was going to or not, and for some reason she just felt like she needed to stay in the fall instead of going off. And she had been praying for friends as well because she didn't really know what she was doing either. So basically both of us have been praying the same prayer, or a very similar prayer, for quite some time, and God led us to each other around the same time. And we basically became best friends, and me and Macy got really close, which was a huge blessing because we had always talked to each other in passing, but her and I really started hanging out more and everything. And I just got really excited to just live with her next year and just be roommates with her again. And I started to just feel really bad that I had ever considered leaving such great people like them. But I was so stuck on the comfort of my friends from my hometown being in Florida that I felt like going there would solve all my problems, and I was so desperate for just more friends and to just meet people that I felt like running away was the answer. And clearly that was not the answer. Really the whole story, it's kind of just like, it's hard for me to even remember it, what had happened that night at Heritage House, just because I was just so in shock, because Katie and I were both just going through the same thing where we were questioning our decisions we had made for school. Not really her questioning if she should transfer or anything, it was just me. But she was just really struggling too with finding people who had the same interests and everything as well, and people that she could really connect with. And I just think it's so important for me to tell you all this, just because I think that if you don't rush at Alabama, it is very hard to make friends. And a lot of you guys have messaged me about this on Instagram or emailed me about it. And you guys have asked, like, how hard is it to make friends? Like, can you make friends? Is it even possible? And it is, and it's very hard. You're gonna go through seasons of solitude where you're pretty much gonna be alone, and you're only gonna know the people in your classes and your roommates. And it's gonna be so, so hard, and you're gonna wanna just cry and give up. But let me tell you to just be patient and to let God handle it, and just pray about it, because He will send the right people your way, the people that need to be in your life, and not the people that just are the first ones that walk up to you. And I think it's so, so, so critical and crucial, whether you're in a sorority or you're not, and no matter what school you're at, to be patient when you're waiting for your friends in college. Because in college, it's just such a time of finding yourself and who you are, and there's so many important things on the line, like your career, and just the academics are so rigorous. And it's so important to just be patient with the friendships and the people you meet, because these are the people who are going to stick by you in some of the toughest times of your life, where you're having to make crucial decisions and where you're gonna go through really hard stuff, and where you're learning how to be independent. So you need those people with you who have the same mindset and have the same values and have similar interests and passions. You don't need these people who just float in and out of your life whenever it's convenient for them. And you don't need people who are just going to encourage you to do bad things or encourage you to be someone you're not. You just need those people around you who really help you to be who you truly are, and just stick by you in any tough times and any good times in life. And it's okay if you don't find those people the first day of school. It's not gonna happen for most people, but it's really hard to understand that you need to be patient. And I wish I could just like let every girl and boy in the world know this, and I wish everyone could see this, just because I think it's so, so, so important to be patient. And a lot of us don't want to be patient, because we are impatient when it comes to meeting people, because we see on social media all these people that went off to college and they're having a great time and they're meeting all these people, and they post about it all the time, and they post about their glorious lifestyle. But do we really know how those friendships really are? I mean, like, sure, some of them are probably great, but they're just broadcasting all the good times, you know? We don't see all the bad times. And I think that when we see all of these people having the great times and everything in college, and we're just kind of slowly stepping in and getting our feet wet and just trying to figure out who we want to be friends with and who's going to be in our life, when we see people who figure that out from day one, we just sit there and compare ourselves to that, and we're like, why aren't we having the same experience? But this goes back to everything I've ever said before, which is not everyone has the same college experience, and we can't compare our experience to other people's, because everyone's is going to be different and unique. So basically, I just wanted to tell you guys, I did consider switching, and I know that's probably literally crazy news, because I sit here and I like root on for Alabama, and I just support Alabama so much, and I talk about how much I can't wait to be there. And that's because I really and truly cannot wait to be there in the fall, because once I realized that I wanted to stay at Alabama, I just have this little fire inside of me, and like it's just like burning and burning and burning, and I can't wait to just like grow in the fall and the spring and just be who I really am, and just figure out the things I want to do and get more involved, because I feel so much more confident in who I am now, and I'm just really ready to take that on next year. And me and Katie always call it freshman year 2.0, because we're just gonna give it another round, and it's just our time to shine now. It may have taken a little while, but we're gonna do it. So yeah, I know it is probably extremely crazy that you guys are hearing this and thinking that you're probably thinking that I'm crazy and that I'm like a liar or something, or I'm just like fake because I wanted to transfer. But that's not the case. I just thought that it was the solution to my disparity at the moment, and it really wasn't. I was just letting my I was praying for a sign to stay or to go, and I was letting my emotions basically dictate what that sign was, and that wasn't the way to go. Never let your emotions dictate your decisions. I thought that that was what I needed, and it was definitely not what I needed, and I feel so happy with my decision, especially because just a couple days ago I got the decision letter in the mail from UF, and I did not get in. And I mean, I have the letter right here with me just to like show you guys like this is real and this really happened. And when I got the letter in the mail, I had a feeling that I wasn't getting in. Like, I just kind of like was opening it and I was like, this doesn't matter to me anymore. I know what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter if I got in or didn't get in. And it does say on the bottom, my application has been denied because I do not meet their admission requirements for the business school. And I knew that was probably going to happen, but I just had a little bit of hope that maybe I would get in, just because I applied without being completely done with all of my lower division courses. I still had 2 more to complete, and one of them I am completing over the summer, and then one of them I am taking with upper division classes in the fall, because at Alabama they allow you to take one lower division with the rest of your upper division as long as you get approved for it. And I basically knew that this was a possibility, but they did say if you had so many credit hours and you did not have your AA, then they would consider it. And I just went by that and was like, hey, maybe they'll let me in. But I didn't get in for a reason, and I thank God that he led me to choosing to stay, and that he showed me the way I needed to go, and that he brought the people into my life that he did, Macy and Katie and the girls I met at church. I mean, they're all just great people, and I can't wait for the rest of the years with them, and I can't wait for the rest of the people I get to meet down the road. And the city was kind of all over the place. I was going to like plan it out and plan out what I wanted to say, but I knew if I did that, it wouldn't be as authentic and genuine. So that's why I just wanted to sit here and just kind of speak through it. And I really hope you guys understand what I said, and if any of you have any questions about this, or if you are considering transferring at a point, or if you're scared that this is going to happen to you, don't be hesitant to just comment down below or reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter or email. I mean, it does not matter. I am more than happy to talk to you guys about it, because I do think that I had a very valuable learning experience, and like I said, I really wish I could get this message out to everyone, because transferring really is okay for some people, and it is a solution for a lot of people. But at the same time, some people just don't give it enough time and don't give themselves time to meet other people and don't really be patient with where they're at. And I think that it's important to do that. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and give it a thumbs up if you did like it. And I'm sorry that I'm like throwing this crazy story onto you guys, because it is really crazy, and I'm also sorry that I didn't really like tell you guys about it sooner, but I wanted to wait until I got the decision in the mail to film this video, and I got it just a couple days ago, so that's why I decided to film it now. And my next video is actually probably going to be why I chose Alabama, and I really want you guys to see that one as well, so you can hear a little bit more of the details on why I chose Alabama and why I chose to stay at Alabama. So don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.